Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dalen Diazong. I'm a level 10 gymnast and I'm heading into my senior year. Today's video is all about my recruiting journey and why I chose Penn State, as well as some tips for anyone that is kind of heading into that time where you get recruited. This is all based on my personal journey, and everyone's journey is extremely specific and unique. So make sure you never compare your journey to anyone else's because they're all so different. Some people get recruited right on June 15th and some people don't get recruited till senior year, and that is totally fine. None of this is a race. So starting off, I definitely was not the best recruit. I was nowhere near the top. I got injured freshman year and that took me out the rest of the season, so I basically didn't compete all freshman year. So I had to work really hard, both physically and mentally, to kind of not only get back but be better than I was before, because I knew sophomore year was kind of like a more important year for me. So I had to work really hard, and I ended up having a breakout year, but it still took a lot of work. I was emailing over 20 colleges after every single meet, just with updates and all that stuff. So it was a breakout year and I did really good and I was really proud of myself, but I was still kind of an underdog. I definitely was not in the top recruits. With that being said, I really did not expect anything on June 15th. I was just hoping for one or two calls or just someone that would reach out to me. I ended up being wrong. I got so many calls on June 15th and so many people reached out and I didn't know what I was doing, so I just said yes to almost all of them and tried to pack them all into one day, and it was a really bad decision because I did not have time to even breathe that day. My mom had to bring food to my room because I didn't have time to eat. I was just on calls all day. So yeah, by the end of the day, I was super tired. I ended up taking a couple calls the next day because I just couldn't fit them all into the first day, and I should have put more calls for the second day because I was just on back-to-back calls all day. So yeah, the next few days were a lot better. Scheduling started falling into place. I was getting a lot of mail and that was also really fun. After a week or so, official visit offers started coming in and I had to work on scheduling that, which was kind of difficult because sometimes there would be two colleges that you're interested in and each college has 2 or 3 dates with official visits. So sometimes they overlap and sometimes you have to pick one or the other. So just you have to stay really diligent with that and communicate with everyone, and then also never feel bad for canceling an official visit or anything. Those colleges have other athletes that they're looking at, and this recruitment journey is all about you and what's best for you. I ended up going on 4 official visits. I went on 1 to Penn State, 1 to Ohio State, 1 to Michigan, and 1 to Stanford. They were so fun. I got to meet a lot of new people and I ended up making a really good friend because we went on 3 official visits together. So that was really great. There was a lot of networking going on and a lot of fun activities, but by the end I was so tired. Funny story, and also something to be aware of when you go on your official visits, there's certain things that colleges won't cover, and also sometimes what they cover, it depends on the day. You might arrive Thursday and they won't cover stuff until Friday. So we were at this hotel once and me and all the girls thought literally everything was covered, right? So there's this big snack area and there was lots of good snacks. They had macarons and brownies and ice cream and chips. They had everything you could imagine. And we're oh, we'll just put it on the room, it's covered. And my family got some snacks too, and we didn't overdo it. We didn't take advantage of the college's money, but we did get a few snacks because we were hungry, and it turns out it was not covered. So then we all had to pay for all of it. After I finished all my official visits, the decision did take some time afterwards, which I'll talk more about later. But I ended up going with Penn State, which was the first official visit that I took. So I chose Penn State for a lot of reasons. From the moment that I was picked up from the airport, it felt like home. I know it's a cliche and everyone says that, but it's true. You really do have that feeling. Throughout the whole entire official visit, everyone was treated like family, and the vibe there was just very like my vibe. Like it matched what I wanted my college to feel like, and then also like the aesthetic. Like that's not like why you should choose your college based on the aesthetic, but like just that, like that was like the cherry on top. Like it was just so me. Literally everyone was so kind. All of the athletes, the coaches, the staff, literally everyone was just so welcoming, and I felt super comfortable my entire official visit. I also connected really well with my future teammates. Like we would just talk all throughout the official visit, and I felt really comfortable around them. When you go on an official visit, the coaches will like take you around to tour campus, and the campus was so beautiful, and they had literally all the resources I could ever need and more. They are currently building in like an athlete area which has like food and recovery technology and just like a bunch of stuff to help athletes out with whatever they need. And like let me tell you, it's currently being built right now, and it looks amazing, and I'm so grateful that our college has enough like money and resources to be able to keep things updated and like take care of everyone there. Another thing is that everyone gets along, and when I was there and when I went to camp and everything and on all my calls, I felt like me and my future coaches just like meshed really well, and everyone just got along. And the last thing is that it's close enough to home to where my parents can visit me, but it's also a healthy distance away, so I can like learn and grow and like kind of be independent and feel what it feels like to like become an adult. So I feel like the distance is literally perfect. I don't feel like I'm like so far away from my parents, but I also feel like I get to try a new place and explore a little bit. I know the recruiting journey can be really scary, but it definitely helps to know what you're getting into beforehand. So number one, before you have any calls, you need to make sure that you have the basic information about the school and their program. So I would pick probably around your top 10 and just jot down a few things before June 15th. And then if there's a school that you don't really know that much about, but you really want to have that call, I would also do a little bit of research before that call is scheduled. And then about scheduling the calls, like I said earlier, do not schedule like 15 calls on the first day. It is not a rush. Like make sure you have time to take care of yourself and breathe on the 15th. You don't have to put all your calls in one day. And then when you have calls, you need to make sure that you have questions, because a lot of calls are just like you asking questions and you like basically interviewing them. Like they'll interview you a little bit, but you're also gonna be asking probably majority of the questions, especially as like calls progress. So you definitely need to know like the recruiting timeline, because that is different with everybody. You also need to like ask what role you would be playing, because a lot of times like you're recruited for just a few events and sometimes you're recruited for all around, so it just depends on your strengths. I would also ask what the coaching style and like what their philosophy is. How do they handle it when the team makes a mistake? How do they handle it when an athlete gets injured, or if they're struggling personally or academically, all of that. And then I would also ask about the team dynamic, how everyone kind of interacts with each other. You'll learn more about the team dynamic when you go on your official visit. If you decide to go on an official visit with that school and if they offer it, I would just ask the coaches about that too, to kind of see the coach's perspective. No team dynamic is bad at all. There's lots of different team dynamics, and it's kind of just all about what fits your personality and like what team dynamic you kind of vibe with, but there's never like a bad team dynamic. Other questions you can ask are what the team does for fun, what do they do in their off time, what are like some traditions, not only for the team, but the school as a whole. You can also ask what their training schedule is, or what a week or day in the life looks like. It's also definitely important to know their training schedule and if that aligns with your major. Some colleges don't really support certain majors because certain majors require classes that kind of overlap with training, so it depends on if your team is willing to be flexible with those times. And then I would also ask what sets their college apart. I would ask kind of like what makes the college stand out, what makes it unique, why do people choose to go there? And I would ask them how many scholarships are available, because that's definitely important to know. Some colleges have up to 4, some colleges only have like 1 or 2, so it all just depends on the year and how much money they have. I would definitely ask and find out if the scholarship is like full, like everything is paid for right off the bat, or if it's renewable, because sometimes scholarships will like be like you get a scholarship for your first year, and then if you do good, or if they want to renew it, then like you get it renewed for your second year, and it's just like it's renewable year by year. A really important question to ask is how many people have transferred in the past few years, and also how many people have transferred out, because that will kind of show what the program is like. And you know, the less transfers out, the better. Right now it's a little tricky because of the roster cuts, so everything is a little bit more complicated right now, but I would definitely ask to see what the transfer situation looks like. And then lastly, I would make sure you ask, you don't have to ask this on the first call, but definitely as you move on, you should probably find out where you are on their list, just to kind of see where you're at with each college. I want to make sure that you stay really organized. Everybody does it differently, but I'm like really particular with my organization, so I just made a spreadsheet with literally everything on it. First section, I have Q&As, and it's basically just all the questions that you should ask the coaches or the university. You can put their answers in as well. Next, I made a to-do list with just all of the recruiting tasks that I needed to make sure that I prioritized, whether it was scheduling calls or writing things down or like clarifying dates. I just put them all on my list. Next, I have college rankings, which is just all of the colleges I was looking at, where they ranked, and then I put a 1 by if they're a priority. And then I put all my scheduled visits here, and then like in blue, those were the ones that were like set in place. Then I also have my first call dates in this column. And you can also have your call log separate, and you just list out all your top colleges when you called and kind of what you talked about. And then I have this section called favorites, which I just kept track of how interested I was in each college. So I have them all color coded, which you don't have to do it this way, but this helped me. I did like the least interested in red and the most interested in green. And then over here, you don't have to do this either, but it really helps. After every official visit, I wrote down all the details about the school. So I have campus, like the external part of the campus, what it looks like from the outside. I have the team dynamic and size. I have coaching staff, facilities, interior, resources, gym, interior, academics, living situation, location, weather, training, and how much it feels like home. And then I also ranked them. This is really kind of unnecessary, but it helped me. I ranked them on a scale out of 10 and just averaged it out, so I gave each college basically like a grade. And then you can also have a section with a pros and cons list as well. My thing is, sometimes people will have like a really hard time deciding between like maybe 2 or 3 colleges. Make sure you talk to your coaches and your parents in those colleges and be really open with it and kind of communicate with everybody. And then also like just write a pros and cons list with your family and talk about it as much as you need to, and never rush the decision. If someone ever makes you feel rushed to make a decision, they're probably not in your best interest. All right, that's the end of the video. I hope it was helpful. If you have any more questions, just put them in the comments. The colleges know that you're human, so you do not have to be perfect. You don't have to put pressure on yourself to be like perfect. I was definitely worried about like sending videos that like weren't perfect. Like if my skills weren't perfect, I was afraid to send updates. The colleges want to see them. Like they want to see everything that you do, even if it has a little mistake in it, because they know you're human, they know you're still improving. So I hope that helped, and I hope you have a great recruiting journey. Again, it's different for everyone, so don't rush. Anyways, you got this. Remember not to compare yourself to anyone. It is not a race, and just do you and be honest with yourself, and remember to believe in yourself, because you are probably capable of more than you think.